So how are we feeling about the Kings this year?
Hey, we still live in Sacramento, so they're still my team.
They're not in Seattle.
Yes, they are. They're still in Sacramento.
For the win! Bogdanovich! The open shot. Look, it's the play. Oh, caught! Are you? Does Hubunga. A miracle! To the playoffs.
This episode of the Eastman Sport Report was recorded on September 14th, before this, or this happened. So, we don't talk about it. Sorry. Bye.
Hello and welcome back to the Eastman Sport Report, your father-son coach play podcast of the San Francisco 49ers and the Sacramento Kings. I am your host, Max Eastman, joined once again by my co-host, Steven Eastman.
Hello, Max. How you doing there? That's a lovely purple on you. Purple is a really good color.
Purple is a really good color.
I do love the
It's in our
Kings
background
jerseys.
as well.
Yes, I do love the purple color. It's a good. It's such a solid. It's not totally bright, but it's a good color.
Where are you going with this?
I don't know. I don't have much hope on the Kings this season, so I love the jerseys.
Yeah.
You know, the jerseys look really
like
good.
our City Edition jersey looks pretty good.
I know. Like, I'm very happy with the
like
jersey
we were
part.
looking at it when like the leaked one, it's like, okay, this is not that bad, but like sort of last year, it's like they actually wear it, like, oh, that actually looks really good.
I know. Like, yeah. So I like my jersey, or this is kind of more of a shirt jersey thing type of thing, and just a Sacramento across the front.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm happy with the purple.
I'm looking forward to the Kings season. Not that we're going to be good, but that it's going to be the Kings season. 'Cause
I
like
do
the
agree.
Kings.
I love watching the Kings. I love them. There's some other things I want to do for this podcast if we can technology find a way to do it. Do some coaching segments.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing Doug Christie with the training camp.
I'm
and
looking
what's
forward to having 2-hour podcasts.
Exactly. And people are going to love listening to 2 hours of us talk. An hour on the Niners and an hour on the Kings. But like, I'm curious. I'm super excited more about Doug Christie. Like, he's such
Yes.
a defensive guy. And those of you who don't know me, like, I think I've said it before on the podcast, but like, I'm a defensive coach. I would love to be a defensive coordinator for a high school team. I love coaching defense. You know, I loved when I was coaching your high school team, and one of the coaches would work offense and I'm coaching defense. And I love to stand there behind the baseline and coaching people and getting in the right spots and help them see how defense is such a team thing in basketball.
Yes.
It's not an individual. Like, you know, you can have a good team defense with Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan out
Yes.
there. Like, yes, it helps to have really good length and athleticism, but you can, if everybody's playing good, have a good defense. So I'm very curious to see how Doug Christie does the defense.
Okay.
I hope our defense is better than we've been in the past. And what am I looking forward to? That's what I'm looking forward to. Also, now I'm a little disappointed. Keegan Murray's injured now 4 to 6 weeks.
Yep.
But I was kind of to see, like, how much growth is he at? It's his 4th year in the league. I think last year he was very stunted by DeMar DeRozan.
Yes.
And I think DeMar DeRozan, even though he's a really good player, future Hall of Famer, okay,
Yes.
really good, I think he realizes, I hope he does, like, he needs to get Keegan
Yes.
going. Now, that might be till December, January before we get Keegan Murray going now. But anyway, so what are you excited about the team this year?
You know, I'd be a little bit more excited if we actually signed Russell Westbrook because, you know, he's Russell Westbrook and he's just a interesting person to watch on the basketball court.
It'd be another future Hall of Famer. You
Yes.
get DeMar DeRozan, Russell Westbrook, 2 future Hall of Famers.
We got DeMar DeRozan on the Kings. We got Vince Carter was on the Kings.
Yeah.
If you are on the later stages of career and you just need a team, come to us.
Yeah.
We'll give you one good year.
I mean, we need 7 guards and no forwards on the team.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
sure, let's just go all guards.
Yeah.
And Sabonis. Like, you know, because DeMar DeRozan, in my opinion, is more of a guard than a forward. I
Fair.
mean, he
yeah.
plays small forward, but he's more of a guard. And so you're like, okay, who's the guards we have on the team? You got Schroeder, Zach LaVine. I put DeMar DeRozan. Then you got Keon Ellis, Malik Monk, Devin Carter. Let's bring Russell Westbrook, and that'd be 8 guards that all
What
deserve
about
to
Nick
play.
Clifford?
Oh, Nick Clifford. He could be a guard too. You know?
He's listed as the 4th string point guard and the 5th string shooting guard and the 2nd string small forward.
And is there somebody else I'm missing besides Neek? That are guards?
No.
Okay.
Not for guards.
Yeah. So you're like, sure, let's just bring Russell Westbrook in because why do you need length?
I think the most important
why
part.
do you need length athleticism?
Yes.
Come on, you know,
Uh-huh.
only the Thunder do that,
Mhm.
or the Orlando Magic, or a whole bunch of other teams. But anyway, with
Yes.
Kings, we don't need that. Let's just play with.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we can play team defense without length and athleticism, and we
I
can just play
think the
guard.
most important part of me looking forward to the season is a lot like the 2022 season, like going into the season, not what actually happened during it. It's like going into the season, I had no expectations. Like, okay, we could be good, and we also could be bad, but I hope we're
Yeah.
good.
I hope they like. In some ways, we'll get to our win prediction later.
I definitely don't think we're the 6th seed is the main thing.
There is a could we get lightning in a bottle?
Yes.
And I think our win range is somewhere in the 30 to 50. Like there is a outside chance that we get to 50 if everything hits right.
Are you high?
Yes. But then there's the other path, so we could get like 30, maybe even 28 or 29 wins if everything just crashes and burns. You know, like I think there's such a huge range. Like who would have thought the Indiana Pacers would be in the finals last year going
Yes.
into the season? Now,
I agree.
I don't
I
know.
100%
I don't know
agree.
if we're actually going to do that. But like, let's say Dennis Schroeder goes out there and plays lights out and plays amazing.
Plays like how we did in the
the Eurobasket.
basket.
Zach Levine, you know, he's in preseason. He's if they were to do 36 minutes of Zach Levine, he'd be shooting 11 threes a game, and he's shooting like 60-something% from three. It's only 2 preseason games, but that's what he's at
Yes.
so far. Okay, and let's say DeMar DeRozan's your clutch player. You figure out what to do with Keegan Murray's not out, and then he
And
comes back
Keon Ellis is your defensive core.
yeah, and then you got Malik Monk comes in as a solid guy off the bench and just
DeMontis Sabonis is
lightning
your
bug,
Sabonis.
holds everything together. Like there's a possibility that we look really good and could get to 50 wins. I could try to talk myself into it.
Will we? No.
I don't think so, but so going into the season, my expectations are really low. But there's also the thing of like, yeah, we could have this huge. I don't know how much my arm's going out of the camera angle. Whatever. There's a huge range of where we could end up.
I agree.
I don't know if we get like if you lightning in the bottle, could you get much above 50? I don't know. Maybe. Probably not. But like
We're having fun here.
we're having fun, and like, but there's the other possibility. Like you could even say it's 25 to 55 is your range. Like that's the Kings' range of 25 to 55 wins. Is I could talk myself into one of those ranges. We'll see where they end up, and then that's kind of the fun of the season. And this is very different than the last 2 years. Last 2 years, I thought they were a 40-50 win team.
Yep.
Solidly. And I had high expectations.
Yes.
Well, last year we said 52, I think was what I said last year. And we didn't hit that. We had 40. So you're like, this year my expectations are lower, but I also recognize we have a lot of talent. Now, last year we ended the season with, does this talent mesh? Can Doug Christie figure out a way in the offseason of, this is all the pieces I have. Can I find a way to make them all work?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I sure hope he does.
It'd be much more fun of a season if we did. Because I think Doug Christie's here for at least the 2 or 3 seasons, I would think.
I don't think he's going to get fired this year.
Yeah, and so like Mike Whitson is a really good assistant head coach. You brought Bobby Jackson back. You have some other really good coaches on the teams that I think can help develop this team and see where they are. So, I mean, I could, and also the funny thing is coming out of media day, there was a lot of local media people going on about, wow, the Kings should get like 40-something wins, 45 wins or something like that.
Good for you, buddy.
And I'm like, still thinking in my head, I have my number in my mind. Okay, so there's a possibility.
I have higher hopes than I did before media day and stuff like coming out and people actually going like, yeah, we were trash last year, like utter garbage.
And I think just we talked about this in a previous one, but recognizing the fact that last year was a poop show, as Max put it, a pile of garbage rolling down a hill on fire.
Yes.
Okay, like recognizing that last year was not good is the first step to making this year better.
Yes.
Now, Can they make step 5 through 20 to make it better? I don't know. But the first step is recognizing last year was horrible
Yes.
and we have to do better.
Mm-hmm.
And they all recognize they have to be better. So just starting off good. You recognize it. Let's move forward. And they're saying all the right things coming out of training camp. Now, their first 2 preseason games haven't really translated that. But, you know.
They're preseason games, so they're not the biggest determiner. Like,
Yeah, I know. It's like, who really cares if you go 0-5 in preseason?
Like the Cleveland Cavaliers for preseason last year were 0-4, and then they went out and won 64 games.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
the preseason is not the biggest determiner.
Yeah,
for
and
this.
so you're looking at preseason right now.
We're 0-2.
Yeah, like the Spurs are 4-0. Are they going to be the best team? You find out later what our predictions are. But like, are they really going to be the best? And if you look kind of at the bottom, you know, Lakers and Clippers are both in the bottom 5 right now. You know, is that really going to hold out for the rest of the season? So preseason is not much of an indicator. There's things you can pull out of it. And I'm curious to see they have 2 more games this week coming up Wednesday.
Yes.
Wednesday
Is it
and I
the
think
Clippers
Friday.
and the Lakers?
I think we play the Warriors too. Anyway, whatever.
Not the point here.
Not the point. But getting back to our season predictions, I think there was that. So, do you want to do your hot takes on?
I'll just say my record.
Okay, you want to do records first?
Yes. Okay. So I feel like I'm a little bit more optimistic than you are.
Okay.
Or maybe not based on what you were just saying, how we could have 50 wins. Probably won't, but we could have 50 wins, which I don't deny we could. We won't, but we could.
We could.
So my number that I have is 38 of 44 wins, which is 2 less than we had last season.
Okay.
But based on how good the West is, you needed to have 50 wins to get the 5th seed last year for in the West. It's pretty tough competition out there. So
Yeah.
I think we're gonna miss the play-in tournament, in my opinion. So that's about where I think the Kings stand. Is we're gonna miss the play-in tournament. I think we're gonna be the 11 seed. So we're gonna be like in there, and we're gonna be hoping because we're fans that we're gonna squeak into the play-in tournament, which we're not going to. But
Either that or tank and go for a draft pick. I don't
Yes.
even, we have to look later who's even in the draft for next season. But whatever, we'll get that. We'll probably
it's
get
not
that.
Cooper Flag.
We'll
I'll
probably
tell
get
you that.
We'll get that in February. Anyway, well, February we'll be doing. Is that a bold prediction? By February, we'll be looking at the next draft next year.
By December. Okay. What's your record prediction?
I have 35 wins. I've been saying 35 wins for a couple months now, so I'm going to stick with it. In some ways, with Keegan Murray out, I kind of want to say 33. But I'll stick with my 35. I've been saying that for a month and a half in my head, so we'll stick with the 35 wins. It's in that range, so I give a huge range of 30 to 50, but I think we're in the lower highest half of that range at 35. So I say 35. Max says 38. We'll find out in April who's closer.
Hopefully over 40, in my opinion. But I don't think we're going to get there. But my
hope.
prediction is 38.
Okay, so you have some hot takes for the
I
season.
do have hot takes. You had hot takes for the 49ers season. I have bold predictions for the Kings season. So my first bold prediction is that no player on the Kings is going to have a season-ending injury
Oh, okay.
at any point of the whole season.
Okay.
I think players are going to get injured. I don't think we're going to be fully healthy the entire season.
Okay.
But I think there's going to be no season-ending injuries.
I like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 2, I have Dennis Schroeder will be top 5 in the league in assists.
Oh. Well, I like where you're going with that. I would like to see that.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I have to rewrite this down because I didn't finish writing it down. Okay. Number 3, bold predictions again. I have Maxine Reynaud will be a consistent starter.
Starter. Well,
I
now
think he's gonna. I think he's
by the
gonna
end of
go
the season?
by the end of the season. I think he's gonna go in the 4th spot, and then Keon Ellis is gonna move to the bench as the 6th man. DeMar DeRozan, Keon Ellis,
Okay.
and then DeMar DeRozan is gonna play the 2. Keegan Murray is gonna play the 3, and Maxine's gonna play the 4.
Does that mean Zach LaVine's benched? You said Keon Ellis.
Yes.
Zach LaVine is
yes.
getting benched.
Zach LaVine's gonna get benched.
Okay. Okay. Bold prediction.
Bold predictions.
Bold predictions.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if he's moved into the starting lineup, do you want to say like he's going to start this X amount of games, or just by the end of the season?
Just by the end of the season, I think he's going to be a starter.
Okay.
or be a consistent starter at some point in time. I'm just gonna say he's gonna start a few games in a row, not because of injuries.
Okay.
Well, maybe injuries started, and then he's gonna continue being a starter.
Maybe.
But I think he's gonna earn his way because he looked good in both preseason games that he's
Yeah.
played, and also the summer league.
Okay.
So
Okay. We're
I
going
think
for
he
bold
has the
predictions?
potential.
Going bold predictions.
Bold
here.
predictions.
Yes.
Jake Moody's gonna make 3 game-winning field goals.
Exactly.
Okay. Number 4, I have Keon Ellis will hit 3 game-winning shots.
Oh.
Not threes,
Just winning
just
shots.
game-winning shots.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm. I'm not saying buzzer beaters as well, just game-winning.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. The number 5, I think that's my boldest prediction,
Uh-huh.
which I also don't fully believe in, but that's the point of bold predictions.
Yes.
Sabonis will be traded at the deadline
Oh. Okay.
because I think at some point because I feel like if Sabonis is traded, that means we suck. And Scott Perry's looking at this like, yeah, we need to blow this up. Trade everyone that you can. So I think someone like the Wizards might want to get DeMontis Sabonis.
Would he go back to Indiana because they lost Miles Turner?
Maybe? Can we get Halliburton back?
I don't know.
No. The answer is no. They're never trading
No,
Halliburton.
they're
Okay, but those are my 5 bold predictions.
just trying to think where would he go.
Yes.
But okay, go ahead.
Those are my 5 bold predictions.
Okay, I got
You have some?
three. I
You
have three.
Okay.
Three kind. I'm trying to make bold predictions, but okay. Here's my
Oh,
take.
they're not as bold as mine.
Not as bold as yours.
Okay.
But they're predictions. Put it that
Mhm.
way. Not as bold as some of my Niner ones. Okay. The funny thing is, you've put Maxine Reneau would be a starter.
Mhm.
I listed Nick Clifford will start at least 10 games.
Okay.
So I think Nick Clifford's going to get a start. Okay. Now that goes along with my other one is DeMar DeRozan and Malik Monk both get traded.
Interesting.
So by the trade deadline, of course, both DeMar DeRozan and Malik. So if DeMar DeRozan gets traded, that means Nick Clifford moves into the starting lineup and he starts the rest of the season. after
Okay.
that.
Okay.
So that's kind of they kind of go somewhat back to back
Mhm.
there. My other one is Zach LaVine is in top 3 of 3-pointers made. That's total 3-pointers made for the season.
I could see it.
So he's top 3 in total 3-pointers. So there's my kind of boldish Kings predictions for the season.
Okay.
So
I think I would have a little more fun than you, in my opinion.
yes, you're having a little bit more. I think.
Sabonis is going to be traded. He
Not-
probably won't be, but that's the point of bold predictions.
Okay. See, mine was just DeMar DeRozan and Malik Monk could get traded, which they probably are trying right anyway last season. Okay. No.
Do you want to do? I think we should do top 5, bottom 5 now.
Okay. Sure. Let's do
so
that.
I wrote the top 5. He wrote the bottom 5. We have not corresponded with this, except for I told him some of the worst teams in the league because he couldn't think of them.
Yes, we
but-
did do a little bit of a we have not totally thing.
Let's go into
I
this.
doubt we have the same players,
I
same
don't
teams on
thi-
each.
I don't
each row.
think. I think this could be an order for how I listed top 5, but I can see some of them being switched around.
Okay.
Let's go from the bottom. Actually, let's go with the top one because it's the most obvious one. I have the Oklahoma City Thunder as the top 5 team,
Defending champs.
defending champs. I have no reason to go against them. They've lost like almost 0 players to free agency, to trades, to injury.
They're
This-
all young.
They're all young.
They had 68 wins last season.
There's no reason to not put them here.
Can they get to 70 this season?
I'm scared of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so number 1, good. Okay.
And then I think the rest of these you can kind of jumble around and they'll be sort of in the same ish spots,
Okay.
record wise and power ranking wise.
Okay.
But I'll just go from the top down. I have, I guess, sort of number 2. And I think of the rest of these is unranked. I'll just say that I have the New York Knicks as a top
Okay.
5 team
Okay.
because I trust in the team that they have, and I also trust because of Mike Brown being able to coach them. I think is one of the most important signings this offseason is Mike Brown going to the New York Knicks.
Kind of like when we sent Robert Saleh for the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
And then next, I have the Cleveland Cavaliers
Okay.
because they were a really good team, and they just ran into the Pacers in the playoffs. And we saw what happened if your team ran into the Pacers.
Halliburton.
Halliburton happened.
Yep. Okay. Okay.
Moving on, we have the Houston Rockets next
Okay.
because they are a young team. They're going to be experienced. Fred VanVleet is going to be injured for the start of the season.
Yeah.
So that may look a little bit different, but they also did add Kevin Mother effing Durant is the best way I can say that. if you add Kevin Durant to your team is going to be better. Imagine the Suns last year if they don't have Kevin Durant. How bad are they?
We'll find out this season.
We'll find out this season. Spoiler alert, I don't have them in the play-in or the playoffs. So,
yeah.
Houston Rockets.
Okay.
I don't know how much else I can say for this. And then I also have the Denver Nuggets as the last team in my top 5 because I trust in Nikola Jokic and I trust in the starting 5 around him, but I also trust that they got a better bench this year because they have a backup center in Jonas Valanciunas, who I thought was going to Europe, and for some reason he's not going to Europe anymore. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
So I trust that they're going to have an actual bench depth that if Nikola Jokic goes out, that their team isn't going to suddenly implode like how it did the last 2 seasons. But I trust mainly in Nikola Jokic, and I trust in the roster around them now.
Okay.
So those are my top 5 teams. Who do you think is going to be the worst 5 teams in the league?
My worst 5 teams, the bottom 5 teams in the NBA are.
Do you think there's any ranking for them?
Yes, I will list the Washington Wizards as the worst team in the NBA. Now,
Okay.
did they get better this season? I can't think of anybody they really picked up to get better. Then I go to
The only thing I know is that they lost Jordan Poole.
Where'd he go?
New Orleans.
Oh.
That's the only thing I know that happened with the Wizards.
Yeah, and they didn't get a very good draft pick. So, yeah, they're going to stink. Charlotte Hornets is this 29th team I have. They're not very good either. Now, they
Okay.
do have LaMelo Ball. I think he's
Yes.
supposed to be back, so that's why I put them. They have a couple good players that I could list off for the Hornets. So I listed them as better than the Wizards because
Yes.
they have some players that you actually could start to build around. Okay? Then I list the Utah Jazz.
Okay.
They weren't very good last year. I think Lauri Markkanen is available for trade. They were trying to tank last year for Cooper Flag, and they didn't get that again. They think they got Ace Bailey out of the draft, and he didn't want to go there. So I'm going to say that sounds.
Who would want to go there?
So I'm not sure where they're going. So I don't think they have much of in any age just trying to tank to gain players. So I think they're tanking. Number 27, the Phoenix Suns. We will find out how bad they are without Kevin Durant. So they have. They cut Bradley Beal.
They cut Bradley Beal, and they traded.
They have Dylan Brooks now.
Yes.
So Dylan Brooks and Devin Booker.
Who definitely don't hate each other.
Well, not now.
Not anymore. You kind of have to let bygones be bygones at this point.
But I don't know who else they have on that team. I imagine they probably have players, and I could probably look up their starting 5 and you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, but they're still going to be at the bottom. Because the Western Conference is just tough. The Western Conference is tough. Which is why, I don't think they're going to be very good. I think by sometime in the season, they're going to Devin Booker has a hangnail, and they're going to tank for the rest of the second half of the season.
Okay.
The last one, I tried to be a little bit of this is my bold try to take a bottom 5 team. Boston Celtics.
Interesting.
Because they lost so many good players. And Jason Tatum's injured. They still have Jaylen Brown. They still have Pritchard and a couple other really good players. I agree. But they lost so many, like Porzingis. They lost Horford. They lost Tatum. I'm thinking they're not going to be very good. So I think there's a possibility they're in the bottom 5.
Okay.
I could be eating my words, and Boston Celtics fans, if you get this, I'm sorry, but maybe this is the Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum thing, and you want to tank this year to get another good young player.
To be perfectly honest, I have no idea what the Celtics are going to look like this season.
I know, so I'm I tried to pick could you pick the Pelicans or the Kings or
the Nets. Name one player besides Michael Porter Jr. on the Nets.
Cam Johnson.
That was on me. I set the bar too low.
And then they have Cam Thomas, who is technically a restricted free agent. I don't know if they've signed him yet. So anyway,
that was on me. I set the bar too low.
Okay. So
let's move into this now.
Okay.
We're going to do, because we're doing full NBA season predictions.
Yes.
And we did this for the NFL as well. And we're going to, for brevity's sake, we're not going to do all teams in the play-in. We're just going to be who wins out of the play-in.
Yes, the top 8. We're just going to do top 8.
Who's actually going to be in the playoffs.
Yes.
I think I want to start with the Eastern Conference.
You want to start with the Eastern? Okay, I moved
Okay.
my list up to there. Okay. The top 2 were easy for me.
Yeah, okay, but we're going to start from the bottom.
Oh, you want to start
I
from
want to start from the bottom. So who do you have for the number 8 seed?
Indiana Pacers.
Mm.
I still think they're going to have a lot of fight in them after last year's finals run.
Yes.
And I think they're still going to – I think they're going to be in the 8th seed.
Okay. You want to know who I have for the 8th seed?
I would love
think
to
they're
know.
going to barely squeak in. It's like a game winner or something they're going to squeak
Chicago
in.
Bulls.
No. The Boston Celtics.
Oh, so I have them in the bottom.
And I have them in the playoffs.
You have them in the playoffs.
But I think they're a first round exit if they're an 8th seed.
Yeah. Hey, that's what we're looking for is bold predictions here.
Yes.
Okay, we'll see who's right.
Okay. And then number 7, I have the Miami Heat
No, that is crazy.
because they are always somehow in the playoffs and they can never not be in the playoffs or the play-in.
I have the Heat at number 7 too, which is we do not confer. We've done this in other podcasts.
You got to be kidding me. You got to be. If I was not related to this man.
Okay, we got the Heat both at 7. Okay, who do you have for number 6? Or should I go first?
You go first.
We're all saying, but who goes first?
Okay.
Number 6, I have the Detroit Pistons.
Detroit Pistons.
Yes, because they're going to stutter a little bit, so they're not going to get higher. I could see Cade Cunningham. Like I could have put them all the way up to 3. I think they're in that 3 to 6 range, but I put them at 6.
Okay. At number 6, I think it's going to be a one-man show up in Milwaukee.
Okay.
I got the Bucks at 6.
It's funny. I was thinking of putting the Bucks at 6, and I'm like, no, I didn't put them at 6.
Because I trust so little in every single player on the Bucks who isn't named Giannis Antetokounmpo. And
Come on, Kyle Kuzma.
He had a 0 stat line in a playoff game. And do you know what I mean by a 0 stat line?
I mean, 0 for everything.
0 rebounds, 0
How
assists.
many minutes did he play that game?
I think it was like 18 or like
yeah,
20
like
something.
it wasn't just 1 or 2 minutes. I think he started in the game.
Yes.
Anyway, yes.
0 rebounds, 0 points, 0 made shots, 0 free throws, 0 fouls maybe as well.
I think,
0
I think it was
assists
0 of everything. Yeah.
in a playoff game.
Dude, go get a foul. Go get a rebound. You're 6'10".
Go do something.
Anyway.
But I have the Bucks at 6.
Okay, you got Bucks at 6.
I feel like we're so unprepared for this, in my
Okay,
opinion.
number 5. You're going first on number 5.
Number 5, I got the Atlanta Hawks.
Okay.
Wait, yes. I don't know why my brain just flashed the Falcons logo in my head. And wait. No. Yes, they're
Different
both
bird team in
different
Atlanta.
bird team in Atlanta. I
Okay.
hate that they're both bird teams in Atlanta because it's so confusing for me because I'm stupid.
Okay.
But I trust in Kristaps Porzingis being a second option.
Okay.
I think the pairing of Trae Young and Porzingis is going to be good for the team, sort of like how what the Kings used to have, because I'm really good at comparing stuff to the Kings, of De'Aaron Fox being your point guard and Sabonis being your center. I think it's good having your 2 heads being your point guard and your center, and then being able to fill out the rest of your roster after that.
Yes.
Okay. Number 4.
No, I'm doing 5. I got to do 5 first.
You got to do.
I didn't do 5.
Gosh dang it.
5 is Bucks.
Okay.
I put the Bucks at 5. So
Okay,
we're only
we're
one.
close.
We're only one
We're
different.
close.
off that.
How much do you trust in Giannis Antetokounmpo?
Oh, I trust in him tremendously. I think he could go.
How
for,
much? How much?
I think he's going to be in the MVP conversation.
Yes.
Because there's no one else on that team, and he's that good of a player.
How much would you trade for Giannis?
Well, the problem I see with the Kings is if you were to trade the 3 to 4 first-round picks that you'd have to get to Giannis.
You can't rebuild after that.
You'd have to probably trade 2 of your starters to get them salary-wise.
Yeah.
And all the first-round picks. Even if you did that on the Kings, would that be a championship team? If you're going to play that much, you better be moving into the top 3 of the West. And if you were to put Giannis, Sabonis, Zach LaVine, Schroeder, you may do trade DeMar DeRozan, maybe you keep Keegan Murray. Is that maybe with Giannis, that would be a top 3 team.
Because Giannis is that good.
Yeah.
He's the Greek freak.
Yeah. So, like, if you were just to say Kings-wise, totally purple glasses trade, I
Yeah.
would trade Malik Monk, DeMar DeRozan. I think would fit the salary. Possibly.
Would the Bucks ever accept that? No.
No, definitely not. But like, yeah, would the Kings give up 3 first-round picks and I don't know 3 or 4 pick swaps or something like that? But then the problem is unprotected Kings first-round picks is probably one of the most valuable things in the whole league.
Yep.
So they might do that just to get our first-round picks.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry.
Moving on. Who do you have for number 4 in the East?
I put the Hawks. You had them at 5. I have them
Okay.
at 4.
Okay. Reasonable.
I do very. I'm very seeing how Porzingis is, and I also think there's a lot of good teams that dropped out of the bottom. So I think the Hawks are one of the teams that move up.
Okay. For number 4, I got the Detroit Pistons.
Okay.
Because I feel like our list is really similar in some ways.
Yeah, that's where I said like 3 to 6 is, in my opinion, is you could shuffle these in any order,
Yeah.
pull your name out of a hat, and you'd get
Something close to
I
it.
could talk you into anything in the order of these 3 to 6 teams.
Okay. But number 3,
Mm-hmm.
I have the Orlando Magic
Okay.
because they're a really good team and they're also a young team last year, and I think
Yeah.
they just got better because Desmond Bain question mark
Well,
for
but
him.
he's the shooter they needed.
He's-
They so
yes.
needed shooting.
I agree.
Because with Paolo Banchero, you have Franz Wagner.
Mhm.
Those are really good players. You add Desmond Bain to
Yes.
that. You have Jalen Suggs as the point guard. That is a really good team. They have the length and athleticism. I would love to see if the Kings could somehow trade for Jonathan Isaac. I've wished that for years with his length
Yes.
for the Kings. He's coming off the bench for Orlando. Yeah, I have him at number 3 as well.
Okay.
So there's
And then
number 3.
I feel like the first 2 are easy. It just depends on what order you put
What
them
order
in.
you put him in? Okay, so who do you have? Who you had number 1? Let's just go to number 1.
Number 1, I got the New York Knicks.
Okay.
Because I think they're going to be one of the best teams in the league, behind the second best team in the league behind the
Okay.
Thunder, obviously, because of Mike Brown. Because of the Knicks had a really good roster last year. They made it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, but they had like a 6-man rotation, and their players were dying out there.
They got Jordan Clark. Is it Jordan Clarkson they picked up as?
Yes.
And they got a couple other bench players.
Yes.
And Mike Brown will play the bench
Exactly.
more than Thibodeau. Like that might make the big difference right there. But Jalen Brunson, they have such a solid team, such a good starting 5. And I think is it Robinson, their center, is actually healthy starting the season. Is it
Mitchell Robinson?
Mitchell Robinson. I want to say Marcus, but that's DeMarcus is anyway.
Okay.
That's another.
But I think that you already have one of the best rosters in the league, and
Yes.
then you add Mike Brown, who who was the coach of the year like 3 years ago, one of the best coaches in the league. He's going to
Yeah.
make that team so much better. That's
Oh,
why I
yeah.
have the Knicks at 1.
Okay. I kind of am glad that I did it this way. I was really thinking of putting the Knicks number 1, but I put the Cavs number 1 just
Okay.
because I think the Cavs, they had 64 wins last season, they're the number 1 seed. I think they're very disappointed in their first round exit against the Pacers. And they're going to go out and say, no, we really are a really good team. And they were a really good regular season team last year. Their length is a problem for people in the regular season. Not as much in the postseason because you can scheme around a little bit better when you have a 7-game series. But I think they will be number 1. And I think there will be bumps in the road with Mike Brown as your coach, but I still put him as number 2. So I have Cavs 1, Knicks 2.
And naturally, I also have Cavs second.
Yeah.
Or I have Cavs second. Okay.
Okay.
Western Conference.
Let's go Western Conference. You want to go bottom up again?
I feel like the Western Conference is like easier for us to rank because we know more of the Western Conference teams because
well,
Sacramento.
we do, but I also feel like
The West is so
it's so deep. And like I think the top
'Cause
3 in the West is
wanna-
solid.
because if you look at the West from last year, the Lakers were the 3 seed last year. They had 50 wins. And then the Memphis Grizzlies, who were the 8 seed last year, had 48 wins. It was a 2-game difference between 3 and 8.
And I think it's going to be very similar to the technically if you blow up in Houston at 52 at the 2nd seed, it's a 4-game difference going from the 2nd seed to the 8th seed. I think it's going to be very, very similar.
Yes.
Now, I think this year,
Can we just get this out of the way? Oklahoma City, number 1.
yeah, if we're going to go top bottom, I think the top 3 are pretty solid. You listed them all in your top 5.
Yes.
I listed it as Thunder, Nuggets, then Rockets. Because Fred VanVleet is out and he has a torn ACL, so probably the most of the season. So that's why I'm putting the Nuggets 2. But I think Thunder, Nuggets, Rockets. I think those 3, because the Rockets got Kevin Durant, like you mentioned earlier.
Yes.
Those 3 are my top 3.
Okay.
So like I said, the top 2 were very easy in the East. The top 3, so your top 5 in some ways was super easy, in my opinion. I think those are the 3 best teams in the West. Now, I also think then from 4 down to
Can I say my teams?
No.
No.
just a second. Then I think 4 to 12 could be in any order, and you could justify it. Okay, who's your top 3?
Okay, top 3. Obviously, I have the Thunder at 1, but then I have the Rockets at 2 because I think Kevin Durant is the difference maker on that team.
Okay.
I think the Rockets are going to be really close record-wise to the Thunder. Do I think the Thunder is a way better team than them? Yes, definitely.
Okay.
But I think because of Kevin Durant and how good the Rockets already were last year, having
Yeah.
52 wins and being the 2nd seed.
I just think Fred VanVleet's that loss is huge
Okay.
for them, even with the gain of Kevin Durant.
Yes.
But I do agree the Rockets are a really good defensive team, and they needed an offensive player. Like the Kings, when we went to Houston and saw them, like there was times where even the Kings defense was shutting down Houston. Like they need a Kevin Durant. He's a huge difference maker for them. So I totally agree with them being in the top 3. I don't know if they're going to be as good as the Thunder record-wise. The Thunder, will they go for 70, or are they just going to walk through the regular season and not be as dominant as last season? I don't know.
Are they going to shoot for the stars is my question. Are they
They
going to
might.
are they going to go try to be the 74 win Thunder and go try to beat Golden State record? Because I think
they're going to try.
yes.
I think they're definitely going to go for it. Did you? Yeah.
As players, they're definitely going to try to go win every single game
Oh,
because
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what players do. But
Yeah, and they are so deep.
Mhm.
Like, there was a player that they drafted, I think, last year who was injured all last season, and he was like a lottery pick, and he didn't even play for him.
and he went and got a ring.
Well, and he's back this season, and he's playing. And so, like,
And they still have a bunch of draft picks to go trade for more assets or keep
If they want
drafting
to.
good players.
or, yeah, the type of thing is they chose their top 3,
Mm-hmm.
and now they might let the 4, 5, 6 players leave in free agency and redraft replacements. Maybe that's what they do. They just keep drafting good players. So, yeah, we'll see how the Thunder do, but they're number 1. So
Yeah.
that's our top
Okay.
3.
And then number 4.
So again, I say 4 to 12
Yes.
is a jumbled mess, and this is where I had a hard time putting them in order. I could put the group together, but it's a jumbled mess. Go for number 4.
Number 4, I got the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Okay.
Because I feel like they're one of the best out of the jumbled mess, the best postseason team. Because I feel like they're a good to pretty good regular season team, but once it gets to the postseason, Anthony Edwards just flicks a switch and becomes a dog out there. And I think I'm not 100% sure who went to the Western Conference Finals last year. I think that they might even go again for a Western Conference Finals run. If I check my notes, I may have them. You'll have to see for later.
Okay.
But I think they're a really good team. I think they're going to go deep into the playoffs. So that's why I have
as
them
a
at
4
4.
seed, I think the top 3 is going to be tough, but I think they maybe they'll play a little better game against the Thunder if that's if it really is this 4-1 matchup that you have them as. It'd be interesting to see them play again. It's the second season in a row. Will the Timberwolves
Who do
that?
you have for number 4?
Number 4, I have the Warriors. I don't really love the Warriors because they're the lone team, and sometimes there's some chance I hate of the Warriors fans. I'm not going to get into that. But I think a full season of Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler are going to be good. And they bring in Draymond Green. They have a lot of other good role players around the team.
Did my phone die? You gotta be kidding me. Well, that's sad. I've recorded most of it. That's the important part.
Okay, so I think the Warriors are going to be good this year and be up in 4, up in 4. Now number 5 though, I have Timberwolves. So
Okay.
same as you have 4, I have the Timberwolves right there.
Okay.
So I very very close. I think Warriors and Timberwolves could actually have the same record and tiebreaker for the Warriors.
Okay.
Who do you have for 5?
Number 5, I got the LA Clippers because
Okay.
they're a really old team, but they're good, really old team.
Oh, and they have so many they're probably top 12 players in their team. All probably need to play.
Yes.
They're so deep.
They're very deep,
Uh-huh.
and they're also they're very old. But I think the main factor for this team is that if the Kawhi Leonard situation gets settled during the season, which I don't think it will. I think it's going to take a long time because that's how this usually happens. I think it's going to take until the end of this season, around the off season next year, for the investigation to be finished and for punishments to be given out. But I have the Clippers at 5. I think they're a really good team. They'd be the top team in the NBA Pacific Division, which, if you really care about divisions in the NBA, I don't really know who you are or why you care that much. But yeah, I got the Clippers at 5. At number 6, I finally have the San Antonio Spurs getting into the playoffs, because
as the number 6 seed,
I think this year Victor Wembanyama is finally going to take his jump. I think he grew this offseason. He went from like 7'2" to what's an estimated by people, I don't know if he's officially been measured, to an estimated 7'4".
Jeez.
And he's already really good.
But
and
you have a full season with De'Aaron Fox. You have Dylan Harper as the number 2 overall draft pick. You still have Stefan Castle.
Yes.
You have Devin Vassell. Is it Sohan they have? Jeremy Sohan?
I think so.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. And did you hear the offseason that Victor Wembanyama had?
No.
So he went out and personally trained with Kevin Garnett. He went out and went to China and trained with Shaolin monks for like almost a month to like clear his mind, and he shaved his head for it, and you could see him, and he's like running out, and he's in these robes, and this big 7'4" man next to like a little Chinese man. It's like, he's crazy, and it's just the type of, and I know he trained with another player that I can't think of the name of, but he's just
Maxine Renault.
no.
The Kings.
Well, technically yes, but no. Some other NBA legend out there that I can't put, but I can't put my finger on. He's just had like the Avengers come out for him basically and go train up this man. He is probably going to be the next LeBron James face of the league type player.
Yeah. Which would he be the first face of the NBA that's not U.S. born?
Probably. You could say,
well, SGA is technically Canadian, but he's not face of the
he's
NBA.
not face of the league. You still have LeBron James. You still have Steph Curry. You still have a bunch of other good players.
Anyway.
That's not the point here. I have the Spurs at 6.
I think the Spurs, you'll find out later where I have them.
So they're in the playoffs.
But they
talk about them more when you get there.
I'm very curious to see how high they can get.
Yes.
How good they are, because they're so young. But will Fox help pull them across? It's a full season with them.
I think the Timberwolves are going to be like a game ahead of the Clippers, and then I think 5 through 8 are all going to be like tied, and it's going to come down to tiebreakers like how it was last year for the Western Conference.
Okay, so number 6, I have the Clippers. Very similar with you. So if you're kind of going down the row, you had Timberwolves Clippers. I have Timberwolves Clippers at 5-6. You had them at 4-5. Very similar reasons. They're so deep.
Yes.
I am so they could be anywhere in that range, but that's where I have them at 6. Okay, number 7. The Lakers got to make the playoffs. I'm sorry, you have Luka Doncic. LeBron James, yes, I think he's out for the first month or so of the season. But they got who they get from the Kings?
Jake LaRavia.
Jake LaRavia. Because of Jake LaRavia, they're going to be in the 7th seed.
You sure about that one?
Well, maybe not because of him, but he'll definitely help.
Yes. Okay.
He's definitely going to help.
I have the Lakers in the same exact spot.
Wow.
Again, we don't collude.
We do not collude, but we are of one mind sometimes. Okay, Lakers at 7.
I don't know how much I could say about the Lakers. You probably hear about the Lakers way too much because they're the Lakers.
Yeah. They're going to be good.
No doubt.
But that's where you're that's where I said, there's...
The West is going to be so
so
good.
deep,
It's just
so
like,
deep.
where do you put them?
Yeah, and so you're like, okay, I had to put them somewhere, so I put them at 7. So we both have them at 7. Are you
Number 8.
You going to do 8?
I got the oldest team in the league. Golden State Warriors.
Oh, see, I have them at 4.
I haven't because again, this is a jumbled mess. They could go anywhere.
I know they could.
If they lose one game, they drop down to like the 9 seed.
Yeah.
Because of however this works out.
Yeah.
But I don't trust that the Warriors are going to stay completely healthy because of how old they are. Because they were already an old team, and then you go inside Al Horford, who is almost in his 40s. to be your.
Come on, Buddy
To be your
Hield's gonna deal.
He's like 36. You're not making excuses here for Buddy Hield now, are you? I get you bought a jersey for him.
He was 30 last year, and he's 36 this year.
I think. Is he 31?
I don't know where exactly his age, but the funny thing is if you don't know the history, there was a time in when he was a Sacramento King where everybody thought he was like 25,
Yeah.
and then during it was 25 or 26, and then it came out during training camp. Oh yeah, I'm 27. Everybody's like, what? In the NBA history books, like they don't take that stuff lightly. You're listed at this age. It's like, oh yeah, I'm a year older. So that's why we're joking about Buddy Hield's age, in case you don't
He's
get the
32, by the way, if you
don't
want to know.
32. See, that's where you thought he was 31. No, he's really 32.
But
Okay.
I just think their team is really, really old, and I think that I think their bench is one of the worst benches in the league, but their starting five is one of the best starting fives in the league.
Yeah.
Because they're a really good starting five if they're healthy. And you also have Steph Curry, so yeah.
Yeah.
And you have Jimmy Butler, who's not as good as he used to be, but he's also Jimmy Butler. So I think they're going to be a good team. You have Draymond Green, you have Steph Curry, you have Jimmy Butler. You can't not be a good team if you have those three. But I think that your bench is looking kind of deserted out there.
They have some players that'll be good.
Like the Kings.
Yeah.
You have some players.
But yeah, that's really I put the Warriors at 4, and one of the things I guess that probably put me that way is put the Warriors up that high was I looked at an NBA or ESPN.com.
Okay.
They listed out one of the possibilities for the season, and they did these simulations, and they listed the Warriors as the number 1 seed. So maybe I got a little biased by that. So I see the possibility of being up there that high. Okay, number 8, I have the Spurs. We mentioned them earlier. I totally think the Spurs could be better, but I think the Western Conference is that good. Like you list old teams, like the Warriors and the Clippers, kind of the Lakers. So will the young teams of the Spurs be able to jump that much higher and get up to, maybe a 5 seed? I think that's totally possible for the Spurs. I'd actually kind of like to see it. I'd kind of like to see the new guys come in there.
Yeah.
But then part of me is also be really frustrated because they have De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama, and I'm very torn on, do I cheer for De'Aaron Fox and the Spurs?
I cheer for De'Aaron Fox. I just don't like Vivek Ranadive or Monty McNair as much anymore.
Yeah.
That's my coping mechanism.
So yes, I am kind of in a way I would like to see the Spurs be better than my prediction at 8, but I had to put them somewhere.
Okay.
That's where I did. I probably could have been a little more bold in some of these predictions, but I think this is the top 8 that's going to make it. The hard teams is like the Pelicans. I have no idea how good they are.
Exactly.
They have some good players.
I think,
but they could also all be injured like they were last year.
I also think teams like the Pelicans and the Grizzlies are probably going to be playing teams that could definitely make the playoffs if one of these teams like the Lakers or the Warriors or maybe even the Timberwolves fall all the way out of the playoffs after making the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Is the West is so, I wouldn't say wide open, but it's so deep. It's
and even if you look at, like, say, Portland, like Portland got better.
Are the Mavs going to be good?
Oh, we haven't even listened to
because they have Kyrie Irving back, who's playing at who's playing at an all-star level.
He's going to come back in the middle of the season.
Yeah, he's going to come back in the middle of the season. He's playing at an all-star level.
Davis.
You have Anthony Davis and Cooper Flagg, who you're really high in Cooper Flagg.
Oh, I'm super high on Cooper Flagg.
This guy over here.
And then they have, like, the Dallas Mavericks, I think, should be in like a 9 or 10 seed. Like, I think the 9 or 10 seed, I think Dallas will be in the at least in the play-in tournament. And then you say, like, well, who knows what the Pelicans are going to do? I have no idea what the Pelicans are going to do. I have no idea how good the Kings are. Like you say, you're going to be. They should be in this range. You know, you're like, so Portland could be way better than expected. I don't think Phoenix is, but like, so there's so many other possibilities down here at the bottom. Anyway, that's where we're at. I think that's where we're at. Okay, so we're going to go through. Do you want to go back to the Eastern Conference and pick your finals?
Okay,
teams?
And the sort of like we do for the NFL, we have our championship games, our conference finals games.
Okay.
So in the Eastern Conference Finals, I have the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Miami Heat.
The Miami Heat.
Because Miami
You had
Heat,
the Knicks at number 1.
Yes. I think the Miami Heat, as the 7th seed. Wait a minute. This doesn't make.
Technically,
Wait a minute. This doesn't make logical sense with how I wrote this.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just move the Heat
Down to
from
the 8th?
from the 7 to the 8 and the Celtics up to the 7. So then this can make sense.
Okay.
Okay, I have the Heat at 8 and the Celtics at 7. So then this can work. Moving on,
Okay, so you have that.
because the Heat are such a confusing team to me. They are such an enigma because they somehow make the playoffs every single year, but I feel like Tyler Hero and
And Bam Adebayo.
Bam Adebayo
Uh-huh.
and who's the player that they just added? I'm blanking on his name. Norman Powell are going to be good this year, and I think this is going to be a year for the Heat, sort of like how the Hawks made the Eastern Conference Finals one year, and it's like they're a good team, but how did they get here? I think it's going to be the Heat's year of the
Okay.
wait. How
Okay.
are they here? But
Okay.
yeah, that's who I have for the Eastern Conference Finals.
Okay.
And I do have the Cavs winning out of this.
Okay. The Cavs going to the finals.
Mhm.
Okay, I have the New York Knicks
Mm-hmm.
making the Eastern Conference Finals because I think Mike Brown and the team, we went over how good they are. I think the Knicks.
Okay.
I did not pick the Cavs. I think the easiest choice was to say Cavs Knicks. And I think that you'd have a lot of, like, that's like the two best teams.
Yes.
But I don't trust the Cavs in the playoffs. They didn't make it last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Atlanta Hawks are going to beat them in the second round. So I think it's the Hawks and the Knicks are going to be in the finals.
Interesting.
And I picked the Knicks will go to the finals with Mike Brown. Will I be cheering on Mike Brown? I'm not totally sure. I'll find
Yes.
out. I'll find out later.
You don't. Mike Brown didn't fire himself.
No, I totally trust Mike Brown. He was a good coach. I liked him. Anyway, so I think it's Hawks, Knicks. Hawks do make it back to the Eastern Finals. They've been there before. Trae Young goes off with Porzingis as his side. Dyson Daniels is his defensive guy right next
Yes.
to him. Anyway, I think the Knicks will beat the Hawks, but it will be Hawks-Knicks in the Eastern Conference
Okay.
Finals. I'm glad we're different. We
Okay.
finally have some picks that are
Yes.
different.
High
Nice.
five.
Okay, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but yes,
Is yours still alive?
mine's still alive.
Okay. Hi. I'm here.
Okay, Western Conference Finals. Am I going first this time?
You can go first.
Okay. This one's a little more.
Big shocker. Who do you have in one of the spots for the Western Conference Finals?
This is a little more boring than the East. I have the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Denver Nuggets. I think
Okay,
those are the
okay.
two best teams. I think Rockets are right there, but the Nuggets rebuilt their bench. They got rid of Michael Porter Jr. Who'd they trade? Did they get Cam Johnson?
They might have. I forget.
Yeah. And so, the way that they rebuilt the Nuggets, I believe in them. I believe in Jokic and Murray. And how can you not believe in the Thunder? I mean, so
How can you not believe in the Thunder?
yeah. How can you not?
Who do you have winning this?
The Thunder would be my.
Oh,
choice.
big shocker.
I know, Oklahoma City Thunder winning the Western
Yay.
Conference. Part of me is like,
I think if I bet money on this, I'd lose money in from Vegas.
yeah,
I bet
Yeah.
$5 and I get back $3.
I know. I just hope that the Thunder don't go on this 5 or 6 year run, and that's what I'm afraid of because
Okay.
they're so young. I hope they don't go on a 5 or 6 year run, but I think year 2 they're gonna make it to the finals again.
Okay.
Okay, who do you have?
For the Western Conference Finals, I also have the Oklahoma City Thunder because if you don't have the Thunder in your Western Conference Finals, who are you? Where are you? I want to meet you, and I want to tell you that you're an idiot. But I'll have them facing, sort of boring like you, I have them facing the second best team in the West. I have, in my opinion, the Houston Rockets because at this point, Fred VanVleet would be back from injury if you're in the Western Conference Finals.
Possibly, yeah.
And I don't know how much he would play, but he'd definitely be a difference maker out there for the Rockets, leading him to the playoff, leading him through the playoffs.
Yeah.
With Kevin Durant, with Alfred Sengun, I think that I think that the Rockets are a really good team, but yeah, the Thunder would win. It's the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're the best team in the league for probably the next 7 years.
Yes.
Sadly, could not be the Kings.
Okay.
I wish it was the Kings.
Yes.
And for a finals matchup, I have Thunder Cavs. You have Thunder Knicks. Who do you have winning?
The Thunder.
Yeah, me too.
That's kind of boring. I know. I know it's a repeat champion.
But it's the Thunder.
It is, and we're in the Thunder era. That's for my daughter. Okay, there you go.
Okay. Now we're going to go into sort of the awards around this. So I want to go.
one last section.
How do I go from least interesting to most interesting? Because I want to leave MVP for the end.
Okay.
Sixth man of the year.
you
Who
wanna
do you have
do
for sixth man of the year?
I have a repeat winner of Nas Reed.
You looked at the Vegas odds and chose the first name you saw, didn't you?
No, he was actually second or third.
On the list that I saw, he was the first.
Okay.
But I'd choose DeAndre Hunter, who I've also from the Cavs.
Alex Caruso was number one then in the list I listed.
Oh, okay.
Alex Caruso.
That makes sense.
Okay.
It's also probably Thunder bias, but I chose DeAndre Hunter because I think he's a good player. He might start in some games for the Cavs like he did last year. I've seen some starting fives go around that he might start for the Cavs because of the injuries that they have right now.
DeAndre Hunter?
DeAndre Hunter. He's on the Cavs.
Okay.
Why are you questioning this?
For some reason, I'm thinking that's Dylan Harper is on the Spurs that just drafted him.
Huh?
Anyway, go ahead.
Sorry, it's 10 o'clock. He should be trying to go to bed by now
It is.
because he's an old man
Mm-hmm.
with is it elbow problems? That's not the point here. He's a weekend warrior.
I am.
Okay. Who's least interesting? Clutch player of the year. Who do you have for clutch player of the year?
Oh, there he is. He's 6'8", small forward,
Mm-hmm.
27 years old.
Yep.
Okay, I remember DeAndre Hunter now.
Mhm.
Sorry, it's the Eastern Conference. It's 10 o'clock at night.
Mhm.
Which one are we doing here?
Comeback player or clutch player of the year, not comeback. That's
This
NFL.
is somewhat. After I saw it, you're like, okay, gotta pick him. Jalen Brunson. It's not really the most exciting, but
Mhm.
he's super clutch. Like,
I was considering him, but I don't really want to because I knew that's the obvious pick. So I want to do something less obvious. I have Anthony Edwards for clutch player of the year
Okay.
because you see it exactly.
Yeah, totally
Yeah,
agree.
because
Yeah.
he's Anthony Edwards. He does a
Yeah.
lot. He does a lot of good stuff in
Yeah.
the playoffs. I think a lot of that is going to translate this year
Okay.
into the regular season.
Okay.
So, yeah, Anthony Edwards. I think is going to hit a game-winning 3-pointer or two out there,
or more.
or 4 or 5 or
Yeah.
6 or 7. Dang it! I'm the only one moving. I just realized you can't see his disappointed face.
Okay. Most
feel bad.
improved.
Most improved. I have Victor Wembanyama because I think he's going to go from a really good player to a MVP candidate this year. Because I really believe in the Spurs this year. I believe
Okay.
that I don't know how far they're going to go in the postseason, but I believe that they're going to look really good, and that this is going to be the season where people go, "Oh no, the Spurs are good, and everyone else is screwed."
Yeah.
Except for the Thunder. If you're the Thunder,
Yeah. When is it going to be Thunder Spurs? How many years until it's Thunder Spurs in the Western Conference Finals?
next year,
Possibly.
because that's Wemby's 4th year.
Yeah. I could see that. Okay. And then you actually have their
Who do you have for most improved?
I have Andrew Nemhard of the Indiana Pacers. So with Halliburton out,
Oh,
he's going to
okay.
be the starting point guard. He was really good in the playoffs, even after Halliburton got hurt. So that's why I picked Andrew Nemhard. His role is going to increase greatly.
Okay.
So that's why I went after him. Okay. Do you want to do Rookie of the Year next?
Sure, rookie of the year.
Okay.
Say it at the same time. 3, 2, 1. Cooper Flag. Yeah. Like who else would you pick? He's Cooper Flag. He's probably going to lead the Mavs to a 40-win season.
Yeah. Yeah. In some ways, this is depressing as a Kings fan because you got the Thunder who are just super young and good. You got the Spurs who are young and good.
And you have the Mavs who had the season from hell where you trade Luka Doncic.
And you
then,
end up with Cooper Flag. And
which
they have Anthony Davis
good for you. I'm not
Kyrie
bitter at
Irving.
all.
And the Houston Rockets are kind of young and good.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not bitter at all. Okay.
Hey, guys, we're going to be really good in 20 years.
Sometime in our
I'm going to be in my 30s.
sometime,
No!
sometime in my lifetime, the Kings will be top 3. Okay. Well, we were a couple of years ago, so.
They were.
Yeah, they were.
They were in your lifetime.
They were the
Okay.
3rd seed. They were the number 1 seed in my lifetime.
Coach of the
too.
year. We'll do this. Coach of the year.
Coach of the year. Okay. I'm going Mike Brown.
I also have Mike
Oh,
Brown.
come on. Well,
Is this 3rd time winning Coach of the Year? Each time with different teams. The first time with the
Yes.
Cavs and LeBron James. The second time with the first unanimous Coach of the Year
with the Kings.
with the Kings, and now with the New York Knicks, him propelling them into the 1st seed and being close-ish to the Knicks record. I think they're
Yeah.
going to win. I think the Knicks are going to win 60 games this year.
Okay.
I don't know how much over
Well,
60
I
games,
agree.
but I think like
I agree.
62 maybe.
Yeah.
But Coach of the Year, Mike Brown.
Okay.
I don't think I need to convince anyone out there who's listening to this that Mike Brown's a good coach.
Yeah. No. Okay.
Okay.
Defensive player of the year.
Victor Wembanyama,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else is it going to be?
because
Well, as long as he's healthy.
yes,
As long as he's healthy.
Mhm. Because I have him as most improved player of the year, I also think he's going to be healthy throughout the season. I think that the most improvement that you're going to see from Wemby, I'm just going to say Wemby because Wembanyama takes too long to say.
Uh-huh.
I think is his offensive side because he's already really good at defense, and he's obviously just going to get better and better at defense. And did he win Defensive Player of the Year last year, or is it it was Evan Mobley, right?
I think so. And Evan Mobley is according to who when he's like ranked second. And then
Yes.
Chet Holmgren is 3.
Mm-hmm.
Giannis is 4 and Rudy Gobert is 5.
Mm-hmm.
But I as of right now, the way things look,
Mm-hmm.
it's Victor Wembanyama.
Yes.
In some ways, I wish it was more of a guard or a wing.
Mhm.
Like if you were to, I wish
Like
they
Dyson
had.
Daniels.
Yeah, exactly. I was pulling Dyson Daniels. Like
Yes.
could a Keon Ellis? They probably have to be a starter to be considered defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
But like, could somebody like that? Could they get 2 defensive players of the year? Like one a big guy and one of more of a wing type of player. I don't know if they would ever do that, but
Mhm.
because why is Victor Wembanyama getting because he's block shots and he's just a rim protector?
And how do you shoot over Victor Wembanyama?
Yeah, but then you're like Dyson Daniels as a really good wing defender is a totally different type of defender, and I think
Yes.
he's a really really good defender. Should be all defensive team. I don't know if he was
Uh-huh.
last year, but like he should be up there, and there's other good players out there. That
Definitely
probably
was.
I'm pretty sure he was too. But you're like, I think there's such a bias toward the big guys in these defensive player of the years. I wish that some of the wings would get more recognition for that. Okay, MVP.
Who do you have for MVP? Because I know who I have.
SGA.
Yeah. Okay, you did the boring pick, I guess.
I did the boring pick, but like I think the Thunder are gonna go for 70 wins. He's their best player by far,
Mm-hmm.
the best player on the best team. He was MVP last year. You're like, how do you not pick him?
How do you
again?
not bet against the Thunder?
Yeah. How do you? Yeah. You could see how we just resigned to the Thunder winning the championship this year
Mm-hmm.
and everything else. I'm curious about all these other things.
Mm-hmm.
I think he might win 2 or 3 in a row, but then I think that you're gonna get voter fatigue and somebody else is gonna come
Yeah.
up there, like Victor Wembanyama or Cooper Flag.
Mm-hmm.
We'll challenge him in a couple of years, but anyway.
This year, I'm making bold predictions. I feel like we've established that. I said the Heat are going to make the Eastern Conference Finals, which isn't going to happen. I said that the Kings are going to trade Sabonis, which I think if they do trade Sabonis, they might trade him to the Jazz for Lauri Markkanen. That's the only way they think we would get Lauri Markkanen, and I really want Lauri Markkanen because I think he's a really good player, and he's younger than Sabonis, which is the main reason why I want him. But who I have for MVP, saying all that before of saying that I'm making bold predictions, I got Jalen Brunson.
Oh, that is bold.
That is bold.
That is really bold. You can't see how much I just sat back in my chair on that one.
Not Nikola Jokic, not Giannis, not Victor, not Luka, not SGA. I got Jalen Brunson.
That's how many Knicks do you have there? That's only, I guess, only 2 because you have Mike Brown and Jalen Brunson. Oh, I had Jalen Brunson for Clutch Player of the Year. You're like,
And I wanted to say something, but I'm like, I can't say too much because I'm going to give away that I think he's a really, really good player.
oh, I think he is. Yes.
And I think he's going to lead one of the
Yes.
second best team in the league to over 60 wins, maybe even like 68 wins or something like that. I
Maybe
think
64,
60
65. I could
he's
see.
gonna
Yeah.
he's definitely going to be the best
Yeah.
team in the East, in my opinion. I just trust Jalen Brunson a lot, and also it's interesting for me. MVP voting for the NBA versus the NFL, where voting fatigue for the NFL happens so fast versus the NBA, especially lately for the NFL, because it's been
Yeah.
3 different guys in the past 3 seasons of Mahomes, Lamar, and then Josh Allen.
Yeah, but I think in the NBA, the best players just stand out so much more.
Yes.
And so you have Jokic and you have SGA,
Mhm.
and even Giannis should be in that conversation,
Mhm.
type of thing. Like those guys just stand out.
Yes.
Will Kevin Durant be in the conversation again?
I think that because of how good of his team is around him, I think it's not gonna have
But
like
like,
MVP
let's say
for the
Houston,
Rockets.
if Houston gets to the 2nd seed, like
Mhm.
you predicted,
Yeah, that makes fair enough.
could they jump up?
But
that
would
high?
he be the best player on the Rockets? Would it be Sengun? Would it be someone like Amen Thompson? Or is it Asur Thompson is on the Rockets? I forget.
No, they have a Thompson. They have one of
Yes.
the Thompson brothers.
Is it going to be Fred VanVleet if he somehow comes back early? Is it going to be? I think that the Rockets have a lot more to consider for their team versus someone like the Nuggets, and I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% on Jalen Brunson winning the MVP, but I want to make bold predictions
Okay.
because I like last week when I made every single safe prediction you could in the book for NFL predictions, I went 0-5. So those are my predictions.
Okay. Okay.
Do you have any other final notes for us? Anything that we missed?
Nope. That my notes.
Do you have a trade target that you think the Kings are going to go after? Or should we talk about that? Let's say that now, because if you were to trade DeMar DeRozan right now for anyone out there, or DeMar DeRozan and someone else, who would it be? Because I said my bold prediction is that Sabonis will be traded, and then if we could trade him for anyone, it would be Lauri Markkanen, because I think he's a really good player, and I think you could build a team around with him. I don't know so much around him because I don't think he's a top player. I think he's like Sabonis, where he's a number 2 option, and then you have to go find your number 1. You have to draft him. You have to get someone else to be that.
That does sound like a really good option. I'd love to sort of trade DeMar DeRozan for Lauri Markkanen, because I think you could put Lauri Markkanen and Keegan Murray on the court at the same place at the same time, even with Sabonis. I think you could put all 3 of those out there, and that would definitely add to your length, and athleticism. I think Lauri Markkanen would be a really good fit next to Sabonis. From shot blocking wise, he's not a huge great shot blocker, but like he's
neither is Sabonis.
Yeah, and Sabonis is probably worse. So I could totally see that. I haven't thought about trade targets for who the Kings would go get. I think they're going to trade DeMar DeRozan, but would they trade him for a not as good of a player and go after draft picks?
Okay.
So like that's where your thing is, like they're really going to go after a trade of a good player.
It really depends for me how good the record is for if they're going to, because it's no doubt in my mind that they're going to trade someone.
Yeah, but let's say like at the trade deadline they have 15 wins, you're trading for draft picks. If you have, let's say 30, 35 wins already by the trade deadline, now you're trading, you want to get for a good player to increase your team.
Yes.
So, if you're trending toward that, maybe you don't even, the type of thing. But, with DeMar DeRozan, his contract is like some player, like if you pick somebody maybe in the East, like maybe Milwaukee. Does Milwaukee need a secondary scorer to them? And unfortunately, would the Kings take back, say, a Kyle Kuzma just because they need to get somebody back?
Would that be for draft picks?
You have to. I would imagine from a Kings perspective, I would need a draft pick giving up DeMar DeRozan. Now, it might only be one with Kyle Kuzma, but just the idea of getting a length and athleticism and getting a draft pick for DeMar DeRozan, I think is not a bad trade. Now, I still don't like Kyle Kuzma. I don't really want to trade for him. But as I'm looking for my Western Conference teams, I don't think he'd fit on the Hawks. I don't think he'd fit on the Magic. I like Bucks or Pistons is the only two that I could see that would want him. And I think it's going to have to be somebody like that's kind of in the middle of the pack that needs a trade in the middle of the season to bump them up. And so that's where I'm like right now I'm very solid on with the Bucks wanting DeMar DeRozan sometime in January.
Okay.
And then you're like, well, who are they going to trade? And unfortunately, I don't know the Bucks roster off the top of my head how much they make, but it might be a Kyle Kuzma just from the aspect of salary. Anyway, because they'd have Al Horford, you could put DeMar DeRozan at the 3, and that actually would be a pretty good team.
Yeah,
from a Bucks
I
perspective, that actually might be a good trade. And from a Kings perspective you get Kyle Kuzma's younger, and you get a draft pick. And you're like, and I don't really want to say this, but I think Kyle Kuzma actually would fit better on the Kings than DeMar DeRozan does.
Because we already have too many shot takers.
Exactly. And so, like, I don't love that idea because of what we talked about with him earlier in the podcast. But
big old goose egg.
But in a way, it makes sense. So that's my take on where he might go.
Okay. I think that's where we wrap it up.
Okay, this is, again, our long NBA season prediction thing. Hopefully this is fun. Again, in the comments, if you're listening this far into the game, please put down here which prediction do you think is stupid, which prediction do you think is the best.
Yes.
We'd love to have some feedback on our predictions, and we thank you very much for listening. We love every single one of our listeners out there. Thank you, everybody, for having fun listening to our little fun project. And we thank everybody.
We'll see you guys next time. Bye.